Been working so much.
Working late because you're a...
Well, I'm working late because I'm a sinner. Oh. 3, 2, 1.
Got him. We both do it. There's a chance for it not being synced up correctly.
I can't believe I just got bamboozled like that.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
All right.
We're back.
We are back. I am back.
Logan's back.
Yeah. I exploded. They put me back together.
I went like a Lego.
Mm-hmm. It's like Humpty Dumpty with a better ending.
Yeah. You got the... I'm not going to finish that sentence. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a great life.
My phone fell on the fucking couch.
I think it's right there.
Oh no, we're good.
No. Just you're just assuming the worst.
I mean, that tends to happen.
It does tend to happen. Yeah.
I tend to lose my phone in the furniture.
It's happened just a few times.
Just a few.
Nah, yeah, I can count on my fingers. There's only like probably 30 times it's happened. You lost your wallet though.
I did lose my wallet.
Yeah.
I did lose my wallet.
Do you have any idea where it would be?
No.
Yeah, I'm sure you looked everywhere that it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Dang.
But hey, we got Samsung Pay. It's all good.
Woo! We love technology.
We do love technology.
What's your favorite piece of new technology? Mine is this heater. Because it'd be so fucking cold in here if we didn't have
Shout
the heater.
out to the heater.
I walked in here setting up. I'm like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Because as you know, this is just my entryway, so there's no heating in here.
We're literally in a mud room. Like, we didn't lie about that.
We wouldn't do that to you.
We don't lie.
Except last episode, because you weren't in a mud room.
We were not in the mud room, but that's okay. It still looked nice. And it was our most viewed episode.
Yeah. Second I leave.
Like, get rid of this guy. We got new people. No, that was a good episode though. It was really chill. I honestly, here's a secret. I spent probably an hour editing.
Damn.
Yeah. I honestly didn't really watch the whole episode. Because I knew there was no like incriminating evidence in the episode, so I need to cut anything out.
Right.
I obviously put in like the tier list like stuff. That took the longest part, was like making the tier list again.
Yeah.
Because
did you not just screen record it?
No. Yeah, I kind of forgot.
But yeah,
it was didn't really take that long to edit. I just kind of like, it was a Sunday night before the episodes go out, so I'm just like, you know what, done.
But yeah,
and I guess it turned out well, so I'm gonna let that stick with my brain and not edit things. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, no, I wasn't able to make it last episode because I've been working so much.
Working late because you're a...
Well, I'm working late because I'm a sinner.
Got copyright on this episode. Actually, we've got copyright on 2 of our episodes.
Really? What do we do?
Our theme song. If I play it for more than 20 seconds, it gets copyright striked.
Isn't it right? Didn't you pay the rights for it?
Technically, yes. But it doesn't like take anything down from us. It's just like, hey, this exists and you can't use it. I can use it, but we won't get paid, which we're not getting paid anyway because the monetization.
Gotcha. So at some point we're gonna have to make our own mudroom theme,
or just use the theme that we have.
Yeah.
A short amount of time, because there was 2 episodes that I used the same theme. It was fine. I even changed it a bit for the Halloween episode, and it still detected it. So
damn. The robots are getting better.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I use story blocks, which I get free with school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a site that most like YouTubers use for their sound and stuff. So
sweet.
Yeah, that's not that big of a deal. So
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, right? I mean, it's been like off and on. We had obviously our gig.
Yeah,
on
we
Monday.
had our gig, but like we haven't like hung out in like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
How you been, man?
Not super busy, but mentally I've been busy. Recently discovered that I'm not graduating this semester as originally planned. Which I've kind of accepted like day of when I found out. But yeah, the original plan was to be done with school and go on with my life, whatever life that is. But yeah, so I was 1 credit short because the thing I was supposed to do was 1 credit less than I thought it was.
Yeah.
So I'm now taking a class in the spring. But if this all works out and we get selected, it'd be our 4th time doing Battle of the Bands potentially, which is fun to think about because we already have plans.
Honey Tree
for
Sweep
it.
again.
Yes, get us to Spring Jam. I would like to play Spring Jam again. As much as I wasn't like, we didn't feel like it was a good performance, but I think
mean, we got nothing to monitors. How
that's
could
true.
how could we tell?
How could we tell? But compared, everyone else said it was like one of our best. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're on like a festival stage. We were like
Mm-hmm.
had like a professional sound system. So
I get to run around like a crazy
it was,
person.
that
It's
stage is so
awesome.
big. I felt like I was like miles away from the rest of y'all because the drum
Mhm.
set was so far back and you guys were like front of the stage. Like looking at it from like that audience perspective, it's not that far, but like being on that stage, you're just like,
I gotta bring one. If we end up doing Spring Jam again, we gotta bring one of our like, one of like our 50-foot cables, so we can really, so all the guitar players can really run around.
yeah. If you're watching the video version, which you probably are, because there's only 4 plays on our 4 episodes on the streaming services. Mayo's on my lap. Hello, Mayo. You're doing really good today. Usually messing up the camera by now, but hopefully you can see me for this whole episode, because usually he bumps it. Don't bite me. What the fuck?
Sometimes he just wants to lay on your lap,
Yeah.
but doesn't want to be touched.
Okay.
Especially since it's getting colder out.
That's
he's
true.
Like,
He's like, I need warmth.
yeah.
My coat isn't carrying that. But yeah, so that's my big update, I guess, is yeah, I got
You got one
screwed
more
over.
class.
I got one more class. I got 2 this semester and then 1 more in the spring, which I already feel like I'm not really in school right now because I'm like such a like lax schedule.
And also it's like film classes, so it's like
Yeah.
we're watching a movie again.
Yeah. Oh no, I go to class to watch a movie this week, even though I've been skipping like a few, but it's fine.
I've heard that's what film classes are like. That's like, check out this movie, and then the movie's done, and then prof is like, pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
those are the good ones. Once it starts getting to like some of the analysis, just feels very derivative and like grasping at straws a lot of the time.
Right.
Like you'll spend like 3 hours on one like film, and
They just like take nothing.
we'll get to the point, and I'm just like, why are we talking about this?
Do they just take like nothing at like face value ever?
Yeah, which is the whole point of like film, is to be an entertainment vessel.
Right.
And for someone that wants to eventually make films, that's like going to be my main purpose, is to make something that a lot of people will be able to enjoy. Like I like artsy films, I like avant-garde films, and I like having films that really deepen emotions and have those pieces that you really resonate with. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and you're trying to make money, and
Right.
you're trying to make ideally a mass appealing 4-quadrant film. And those are the films I tend to like more than typical Oscar bait films. And even though I do tend to watch a lot of them, like last year I watched like 8 of the 10 Best Picture nominations.
I mean, like the heavy monetization in like the film industry that like recently, like just sequel after sequel after sequel. It's all everyone's trying to be the next Marvel.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, it is the highest grossing franchise of all time.
I know, but
So,
I don't know,
but
it's pushed me away from like wanting to like watch movies.
that's
and
fair too.
even going to the theater, because
But that's a different issue. The theaters are just not up to what they used to be,
yeah,
or like because we have so many different options now for streaming, and watching videos on demand, and just people's schedules not working out, and the financially not working out for them to go. Like I'm lucky enough to be able to go to like screeners, which I mean it's a general audience thing. Like anyone can access those things, but I'm lucky enough to do that. I'm lucky enough to pay for a subscription to go to the theater. Like I pay like $25 a month to go and I have a schedule that allows me to go to the theater. But it's also my passion. It's something that I like to do. So, I definitely have a lean towards more like advocating for going to theaters. But I definitely over the years have seen, especially post COVID, that a lot of people just don't have the means or just this desire to be in a crowded room for like 2-3 hours of commercials and stuff, just to see a movie that might be mediocre when they could have easily just popped on Netflix and watched the same level of quality film for the price they're already paying for the subscription. So, yeah, it's definitely difficult being someone that wants to eventually be in that industry and create things that will hopefully be shown in theaters, that there's not a lot of investment in theaters themselves. They're working on it. AMC has promised like a $2 billion plus investment in like updating their theaters.
Oh wow!
Creating more premium formats and having more access to have that premium experience at a justifiable cost. Because like going to
because the only reason I go to the theater with you is because you're like free ticket.
Yes,
and I'm like, you got me.
That's all I gotta do is like, hey, I got an extra ticket for this movie, and we've gone to a few. We saw Twisters this summer.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a few other ones, but yeah, it's definitely a nice incentive.
A movie that I want to see, especially after last week, is the A24 movie Civil War.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that. I had a screener for that. I saw it in when it came out in April, and yeah, it's definitely
yeah. I think
it might be accurate.
I think it's purely coincidence that YouTube is suggesting I rent that movie after the election.
Well, it is on Max, I think, for free.
It is on Max for free? Okay,
so,
word.
Yeah, I'd recommend watching it. I enjoyed it for what it is, but
Ethan,
it's not what.
Can you sign into your Max account on my PlayStation?
Maybe. I think the issue with that is that it limits to 2 users using it, and I think I have like 15 people on it. I don't, but my family, it's like we all use the same account.
The people's Max account.
Yeah, pretty much. We do the same thing for like Hulu and Disney Plus and all that shit. So
I recently upgraded my Crunchyroll account.
Oh.
Because they use it at work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice.
So.
Yeah, I think we get it free with like AT&T. So everyone else uses my mom's account, which is nice, but yeah. Well, I'll update you on that, but
for sure, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway.
But
that's where I'm at. How about you?
Huh?
How about you? Have you been working a lot?
I've been cleaning.
Cleaning.
Yeah, I've been cleaning.
Like at work or just like here?
Here.
Oh,
like
nice.
Doing my laundry. I can see my bedroom floor now.
Yes.
Are
you adjusting well to the new space? I know it's been a few months, but like.
Yeah.
Just comparatively.
Especially because I've like fully financially recovered from moving.
Yeah.
So I'm much less stressed. So I'm able to take care of my space more.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been nice. Also, I've been wanting to have people over, and I don't like having people over. My house is a mess,
dirty.
obviously.
Yeah, I had been in Wally over yesterday doing some music stuff, and Dylan and I just like I didn't ask him to clean, but we just kind of like cleaned everything from like the past, because like after we have people over, it just kind of like sits like that for like a week, and like because we don't use the living room as often, and we're just kind of in our own space. We never have to like tackle that space, but living room's always dirty when there's band because I set up everything for that. But it looks functionally messy, so it's not like there's just like garbage and clothes on the floor. There's just a lot of stuff we have in that space. But
yeah, this is actually a 4-bedroom house. But
yeah.
But the 4th bedroom is like, it's pretty much just like a huge closet. But I've been playing Magic down there with people.
Yeah, it's a nice space.
But I do the same thing. I just, whenever I like have people over, I just don't clean until people want to play Magic again.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I've been that's been another project of mine is organizing everything, because I've got so much stuff.
Yeah. Well, especially with all the extra band stuff you have now here, and all your gaming stuff and your Magic stuff and your Warhammer stuff. So
But yeah, got a shelf.
Oh,
Gotta
nice.
build that. I'm gonna put all the Warhammer terrain, so then I can have the actual desk down there, so I can
Oh, so you don't have to.
build and paint minis.
Dope.
But yeah, the nerd room is coming together.
The Nerd Room. That's the next podcast.
The Nerd
title.
Room podcast.
It's the spin-off of the Mud Room. We should have a podcast for each of your rooms in the
The
house.
Nerd Room podcast sounds like it would have the most racist vitriol you would find on the internet.
Yeah, you won't find that here. But yeah, it's been.
They'd still be talking about the new Star Wars show. What was it, Acolyte?
God. It's a bad show, but not for the reasons that people complain about it for.
All the clips seem cool.
There's one episode where it's like the big like fight, Jedi fight. I didn't finish the show.
Is it just boring?
It's just not a good story.
Oh.
Like there was a lot of I was really interested in watching it because it's like set in an era that we haven't like touched yet.
Nerd Room podcast episode 1. Go ahead.
But it was just it was just really boring, and I just couldn't really get into what they were trying to tell with the story. And I was on that from like it's just paced weird, and like it doesn't feel like it's like going somewhere.
Yeah,
which is juxtaposition to a different show.
Because other than like you know the racist nerds that like only care if there's like a person of color on there, and then they do their whole spiel.
They do it to get clicks, and they do it to just feel
they do their
hates.
whole spiel. They take their Russian dollars.
Yeah, so I obviously don't side with them, but I
obviously but what I was saying is that like I've only heard about the show from the racist outrage about it, which I think means the show is mid. Yeah.
It's not worth the watch, honestly. Like I said, I didn't finish it. And my dad still wasn't as great, and he's like the biggest Star Wars fan you'll ever find. And he likes a lot of the shows, and he said he still enjoyed it. Like we still watched it weekly. But he was just like, yeah, it just wasn't like, it just didn't live up to the potential of that type of show should have been. Like it should have been like a Jedi murder mystery, like that like the concept of it is like really cool, but it's just been sitting in that like ideal like what the show could be for like 4 years. And it just didn't live up to hype. But I'm glad that there's a new Agatha show, like a new Marvel show that was spin off of like WandaVision that came out, and that didn't see
Agatha?
it. What?
Who's Agatha?
Oh, she's like the evil witch.
Okay.
Did you watch WandaVision? Okay, yeah, she's like
nope.
It's like she's just like an evil witch. But besides the point, it goes.
Does she have a big pot and go?
No, but they do reference like stuff like that. But like that show is like pretty much a whole female cast, and there was like no hate for it because it was actually like there was nothing for them to fuel any of that. Like you can like have a show that's like not like a great show, and then people will like start like
Also I feel like those like right leaning channels, I feel like optics wise they're kind of, they don't really care if there's like a woman in the show.
Yes and
sometimes.
No. Yeah, because like She-Hulk that had a lot of hate for it.
That had a lot of it.
Even though like it wasn't like awful of a show. Like it should have been funnier, in my opinion. Like if you're gonna have like a lawyer comedy,
I think
with a character like She-Hulk where she's like a fourth wall breaking like high comedic character, it should have been like.
Only thing I remember from She-Hulk was just She-Hulk throwing it back.
With Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I haven't like gone back to watch it because I just didn't like enjoy it as much, except for the Daredevil episode, which was really good. But yeah, it's just like I think there is a correlation between that and just like having like a mediocre show, and then they'll like bounce on it, and like having a show that's like actually good. But like the hate for it either way is still unjustified, and I think it's just it detracts from what the message is trying to be, and like yeah, it's just really annoying.
But there was supposed to be a guest today. That didn't work out. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll have him on later.
And going forward, we're gonna try to make every episode a guest episode
Yes.
as much as we can.
As much as we can. The numbers show that people don't want to listen to us talk
We
consistently.
can't argue with 510 views
That's true. And counting.
and counting.
And counting.
Keep it up.
Let's get this to 600, shall we? But yeah, I think it was a decision that we were thinking about since day one. Like, it was something that we floated around.
Right.
There's only so much we can talk about. Like, some of our topics today are kind of rehashing some things we talked about, but also we'll talk about stuff in the future. But I think
Also, we've explicitly banned talking about like work.
yeah, like our
too, so.
like getting too personal with like
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it kind of takes away from a lot of the funny stories you might have, or but yeah, I think this podcast kind of at conception wanted to be a vessel to kind of showcase like the scene and to have people on to like share different experiences and different perspectives, not necessarily just on music, but like artistry and creativity as a whole. Because I eventually want to have some people on that like do photography.
Yeah.
Or like I would like to have Christina on and have her perspective on like she's very much a member of like our band, like circle.
Our crew.
Yeah. But just having like her perspective, or having like someone that's like graphic design, or like producers, or just like anyone that has a creative mind and they want to be able to like showcase that. So I think with our release schedule currently still being bi-weekly, it'd be nice to have a more consistent guest spot rather than just having once a month for guests, because it would take a while for us to get through people that we already like are friends with, let alone the people that we like are acquaintance with or just want to have on the podcast that are in the scene. So but yeah, going forward, I think it'll be probably a high percentage of guest episodes. It won't be like every episode. I'm sure that we'll have some in there, like today. But yeah, it's something that we've been talking about since day one. We didn't hit our like goal. Actually, no, our like goal was supposed to be for weekly episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost there though. It's almost.
Which thank God we weren't trying to do weekly episodes.
Yeah,
when
maybe in like 6 months. But
maybe in like 6. Yeah.
yeah, because it would have been like I would have been out of school, so I'd have more time to focus on this. But now I'm not doing that. So plus,
Deals off.
No, please don't go back. It's getting close. Don't go back.
Don't go back and like the video.
It only counted for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is up. Please don't do it.
In fact, dislike the video.
If this video gets 20 dislikes, we'll stop the podcast.
My first episode back.
Hey, the funny thing about it, they won't know because you can't see dislikes. But
That's true.
But we'll know. They'll
That's
be
true.
like, "Ah, shit, we got 21 dislikes on this."
You wouldn't
video.
lie on the internet, Ethan.
I've never lied on the internet. But yeah, more guest episodes. We have a lot of people on our list already. If you know anyone, or if you are someone that wants to be on the podcast, let us know.
Absolutely. Best place to contact us is our Instagram,
Our
right?
Instagram, yes.
Yeah.
Instagram DM, slide up in the DMs. That sounds weird. This is my first video on Instagram. It's a real video.
But yeah, anyone who wants to be on the pod or wants any other kind of inquiries, slide into our Insta DM.
Yeah, slide right in. But yeah, I think going forward, it'd be definitely beneficial to both us, because we struggled to think of some topics for today, but just beneficial to the scene.
I mean, I had a whole list ready.
Yeah, no.
But it'll be for next time.
Move for next time.
Or whenever that guest comes on the pod.
Yeah.
But
we'll have someone for next time for sure. And going forward, you'll see more faces. So, yeah, there's proof in that it works. So we're gonna do that. So.
Oh, you know what I haven't talked to you about?
Oh,
I haven't talked to you about our gig that we had a couple days ago.
Dylan called me for like a half an hour afterwards, even though we lived together.
Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, Dolan was playing Magic with me.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah, we had a gig on Monday. It was at Bad Kitchen and Sylvia Deacon. That was at Pillar Forum, which is one of our favorite places to play.
Woo!
It was a good show. I really enjoyed it.
Fucking love Pillar
I mean,
Forum.
yeah. Besides, like the one miscommunication. Oh my god, I cannot.
Miscommunication.
Thank you for correcting me. Besides that, it was a good show.
Which happens, like
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's
yeah.
like. That's like top 5 like most human things ever.
Right. And like we both, like I think Dylan chatted with them afterwards, like, oh, I'm so sorry. They're like, oh yeah, we understand, everything's fine. So no beef with Pillar Forum.
No, all the staff at Pillar Forum is like some of the nicest people that I've worked
Such a,
with.
like cozy place.
And it is really cozy.
Yeah. And it's like it's still new, so it's got like a
Really? How new is it?
I think they started building. Well, the event space is very new. Like we were like.
Yeah. Did it used to just be like a cafe?
Yeah, they used to play in it used to be the cafe, and they used to like play in that little like nook area.
Oh yeah, near the bathrooms.
Oh no, it was like I think like by the glass, like right by the front
near the
entrance.
window. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's been around for a few years, but the event space is like.
But the skate ramp stage area is new.
Yeah, it's like with,
Sweet.
I think it's a little over a year old. So.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense why like. I haven't seen a ton of people play there yet.
Yeah, it's a growing spot.
I hope more people do play there because you know I'm always down to go to Pillar Forum.
Yeah, it's a nice little part of town too. There's not a lot of like places that are like that over there. So yeah, I think I would like to play there a lot more. The 2 shows we played there, we didn't book.
Pillar Forum every week.
Pillar Forum, we'll play that every week, and they like us too, which is good. But the last 2 shows we've played there, we haven't booked ourselves. That people just sort of reached out and be like, "Hey, you want to play this show?" I'm like, "Sure," which is also something that I'm liking more than having to book every show for us, because most of the shows
is just being put on someone else's.
Yeah, just being asked to play with someone else's bill.
Yeah.
Because like I'd rather open for someone pretty large than to have to play a Honey Tree headlining show.
Right.
At least at this point in time, because we've done a lot of those just this year alone. And
at this point in our band, we don't really have any like fans.
Yeah,
like
I mean, we
like,
have fans, but we don't have people that are going to come to every single show.
Yeah.
And
besides like friends.
Yeah, but like just people that like we like don't know.
Yeah.
That are fans of us coming to every.
I think it's happened like a couple times, but
yeah, I mean, like there's definitely been some people that have like shown up to multiple gigs and they exist, but
we haven't really been.
We don't pull crowds.
We haven't really been super active in Minneapolis until recently.
Yeah, and like our online presence does not like correlate to like our in-person presence. So,
but you can help with our online presence by liking, subscribing,
YouTube's
sharing
doing really well. Like we've tripled our subscribers this year alone.
Shit.
In the last like year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all thanks to Chappell Roan. But
we're gonna be riding her coattails to the top.
I swear, if we don't bring her up at least once an episode, she's gonna be mad.
She'll
be like, you. Did she see that she fired her management?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's 100% true. Because she responded to that on Twitter, and she's like, "Fuck you guys for reporting that." So, I don't know what that means in terms of her either blowing up more, playing more shows, or doing less. I mean, music wise, she seems to be like wanting to keep doing it because she's like gonna be releasing, like she's working on her second album. Like that's like she said that's set in stone. It's just not like a one album. All right, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm excited for I'm very excited for what her next project. Because I don't get me wrong, I love like the Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. Is that the record? Yeah, I love that record, but I've played it too many times.
It's like I'm so covered.
And also like Chappell's very popular, so I'm hearing it everywhere. But
it's weird, like till like I've listened to it before, and you listen to it now, you're just like, oh, my mom knows this song.
Yeah,
my cousin knows
right?
this song. This guy down the street knows this song. My dad will send me videos of like, oh, this shit, they played Hot to Go on TV. I'm like, what? This is like,
They did?
oh, I don't remember. I think it was,
Whoa.
there was a TV show he was watching, and they had like that, like a version of that. I don't remember the context of it, but he's like, oh my God, this happened. I'm like, it's weird because like, there's no other artist I've listened to that has had that like reach across like the most, not generic, but like the most like general audience. I think. I mean, obviously there's like the big guns, but like having someone that's like so tied to like the queer community and like so like in that space that have like that such mass appeal by like
especially
everyone.
like being queer myself. It is representation does feel pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm curious what that means in terms of like if she continues, because she had so much to do this year. Like like when she pulled out of festivals, like even people were like, oh, you're not taking it, whatever, all the bullshit they wanted to spout.
If I had her schedule, I would die.
Yeah,
I would just die.
I think the reason she fired them or like split parts of them because they were just giving her too much to say. And she wasn't. I don't think she had like a lot of headlining stuff either. She was like, these were stuff that she like booked out before she became famous, but all the stuff on top of that. Like if she'd had like just the schedule she had planned beginning of the year, I think she would have had a fine year. But she probably had quadruple the amount of like opportunities because she did blow up.
Yeah.
That it just became too much for her. That's why she had to drop out a few festivals, and that's probably why she fired her management, because they were just like taking every opportunity they could to get her to perform somewhere.
Right, because I'm sure they made a lot of money.
Oh yeah, definitely. So. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if she continues with her output. But yeah, she just like released "Good Luck, Babe," and then just kind of stopped releasing, or like didn't have a plan to release anything else.
I mean, it's not like she could even like think about that.
That's true.
With the amount of like shows she was playing.
Right.
Like,
but currently she has like 6 songs right now in the works. Like she performed a new one on SNL a few weeks ago, which they took off the internet, which is annoying because it was a good performance. It's like a country like based song. It was really cool. But yeah, that was our Chappell Roan talk for the day. Make sure you hit like on the video for more Chappell Roan talks.
You are not codifying this into the oh, brother.
Oh, who's gonna edit this one now?
Oh man.
But yeah. I don't remember. Oh, our gig. That's what we were going to talk about. Talking about. Yeah. Potentially our last one of the year. Potentially. There might be one at the end of the year, but it's still in the works. And it's still not official yet, so I'm not going to bring it up here.
But we're gonna be busting our ass spring and summer, hopefully.
Yeah, ideally next year's gonna be our year. As Logan put it.
Summer of Honey Tree.
The summer of Honey Tree. That is. We gotta get some merch.
We gotta get some merch.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
I've been trying. I'll talk to you afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've kind of hinted at like wanting to do, not wanting to do, but like having the opportunity finally to have the types of shows that we want. We've always wanted to play, like house shows. Hopefully, finally playing at like a First Ave venue. Because I feel like we finally reached a point where we do have the experience.
We have the experience, and then we also know bands.
We have the connections for it now.
Yeah, we know bands that we could play. At like a nicer venue with.
Right, because like I mentioned before, like we were just most of the shows we were booking were just like shows that we booked and had to reach out to and organize ourselves, which has been fine. Like I'm good at that, and I'm able to do that, but like. It's been so nice, like the last few gigs that we've played, like especially like the last half of this year, have all been gigs that I didn't personally seek out. They have all been like directed at or like come to us, which has been really nice.
We haven't had a bad gig in like fucking like 8 months.
Yeah, so it's nice when you have a gig that like you're not the center of it, and like it all like the audience relies, or like you rely on your pull for the audience and like how the energy goes for the night, because you can just like show
I feel like the set times have been like perfect too.
Yeah, we're not
like
playing,
we haven't played for over an hour in like a year almost, which is awesome.
Yeah, it sucks because we don't get to play a lot of the songs that we want. Like we haven't been scraping the barrel for a while because we have a lot of new stuff we're working on and like the covers we're playing,
which is nice because we can play just the bangers.
Yeah, we can have a solid 40, 30 minute set.
But also at the same time, I feel like it like we have no like gig reason. We have no reason like gig wise to make new songs because we can just play the same 8 bangers that we've been playing every other show.
Right, and we just released a project in May.
Yeah,
which was like what 3 years after our first one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like we're not like rushing to make a new album. Like ideally, I'd like to like start working on something like a new single or.
I mean, I feel like some artists can put out a bunch of really good records, and then some of them can only put out a couple really good records. And I think we the way our process is just kind of slower, but I think that's fine because we only got bangers.
We only got bangers. Also, just like this year's also been just like super busy outside of the band that we haven't had a lot of time to focus. Because like our first 2 years as a band, that's all we did. That's all we had. That's all we wanted to do, really. Or because we started.
I'm living with my parents. I don't have to pay rent. I'm just going to do band after school every day.
Yeah, and like.
And then the pandemic hit, and then it's like okay.
Because we started in. We can get into this in our 5th anniversary episode, but we started in like 2 months before the pandemic started. Because we played our first show the week of lockdown. We're like, oh my god, this is amazing! I can't wait to start playing more. And then boom, we got hit with. Well, we can't play a show until next May was our next gig.
But we didn't know when.
We did. Yeah, but we locked in. We wrote an album that year, basically recorded it the following spring, and
still, I don't know how we did that.
I mean, even the songs that we wrote songs that were originally going to be in the album that we just haven't played since, which is weird to think about. Like there's like 5 that just like we wrote and we're like, yeah, these are good songs, and then just disappeared. Like, oh shit, okay, there it goes. But yeah, like
I mean, also our sound changed so much.
Oh yeah,
in that time too, because our first album has a lot of funk influence in it, and then the EP has much more of like a indie rock / emo sound to it.
Right, and even now we're kind of changing up a little bit. Like Temmie's writing, or at least they're listening to more like folk music, and then Dolan's leaning more towards like not necessarily indie pop, but like kind of popifying some of the stuff that he's writing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different paths we can take, but we're not like.
I think the next Honey
We're not. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but we're not like reaching towards our next goal of like we need to make music for this next project.
No, we have no projects in the works. We have songs, we have new songs.
We have singles in the works.
Yeah, we have singles in the works, but the next Honey Tree project I think is going to be really interesting. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and I know we've like chatted about it, but I want to focus more on like having a theme or like a story to our next project and kind of like incorporating more of like thematic elements rather than just like
a collection of songs.
Yeah, a collection of songs.
You want more of like a concept record.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to like kind of tap, because I know we're capable of doing that, and just tap it into being able to have a.
Also, I feel like when you have a craft, you have to keep challenging yourself.
Yeah.
In order to one, keep yourself interested, and 2, to get better. Right.
Because if we were writing, if our first 2 albums sounded the exact same, I wouldn't be like interested in or like having the same amount of like, yes, let's do this for the 3rd project, because like I don't want to create the same thing over and over again.
Because artists definitely do that, where they'll release an album. It'll be a good album, and then they'll release another album that sounds very similar to the last one they dropped, but it's not, the quality just isn't as good.
Right, like the novelty of it wears off.
Yeah.
Because you thought it was like a unique package, and then they duplicate the package, and you're like, well, this isn't really like anything new, and it's not like the songs could be good, but they're just not evolving as an artist, which is something we don't want to get.
Yeah.
At least now, like maybe in like if we're still a band, like 50 years, obviously we're gonna
50 years.
It's 50 years. That'd be crazy. But obviously they kind of like hit a standstill and like they do what works. So we had the novelty of being a small band and being a younger band where we have the time to just do really whatever we want because we have the drive for it because we're trying to get to a point where this can be a thing. And right now we're just kind of sitting at a point where it's just like, this is our passion and we just want to see it grow. And to get that to be the thing, we need to constantly change how we're doing things. And
also, like, I feel like where you live can determine how much music you can do. Like in one aspect, economically.
Yeah.
Like, we're very lucky to be in Minneapolis and, you know, living in Minnesota because there are like programs we have and policies that we have in the state, like $15 minimum wage in the city. We have state health insurance that we can use, and there are places to live that isn't like that, you know, we're not paying that California rent at all.
Right.
So
right.
I think because we can economically, we can afford to do band, I think it's a very important aspect to like having to like perfecting a craft. I'd say.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when we moved and when we were all poor as shit, we were doing nothing for band.
Yeah, we kind of hit a point where we're just like, this isn't our priority.
Yeah,
it used to be our priority because we had nothing else to worry about.
We gotta eat.
Yeah, now I gotta eat. We gotta pay. I gotta pay for water so I can shower. I gotta pay for electricity so I can, you know, be warm at night. Like, I mean, obviously these are things that everyone goes through.
Yeah,
but just like being able to not necessarily look back on that because we're still like in that state, but like we're in a more manageable state now. Like I feel like we all have our things sorted out. We know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, it's coming up on 3 years that we've been in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Or 3 years we've been paying our own rent.
Right.
So I think that's why we're getting more involved in music.
Yeah, because we got our priorities in check. Now we can start going back to that youthful energy of being able to just like, oh, we can do this now. We can actually like we have the time to, you know, focus on things that we really enjoy. So,
and now we can get shit faced at gigs too. So that's also a plus.
I love drinking.
Ethan loves drinking.
I love drinking and not being the designated driver. Full disclosure, I do not drink. I've specified that many times in the podcast. But yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see what new things we can do next year. Because I feel like this year has been a real eye opener in like terms of like what we enjoy doing. This is all like gigs wise, like playing out with other people. But knowing like what types of venues we like, what types of people we like playing with, and having the opportunities to really expand our horizons. Because I feel like we've quintupled our like output in terms of playing shows this year alone.
Well, I mean, when we were living, should I say where we lived? I think it's fine.
Yeah, St. Cloud.
Yeah, when we were living in St. Cloud, like there. It's not that there weren't places to play, because there was like a couple.
Yeah.
But
we were also young.
We were also like really young,
Yeah.
so no one really wanted like kids playing in their bars.
Yeah, like we could play the red carpet, but like we were recommended not to play the red carpet.
Also, the red carpet sketch as
yeah,
well.
Yeah, but we were lucky enough to have the 2 big shows we did play at Pioneer Place, which has been some of my favorite shows we've played ever. But yeah, there's like the opportunity for it's growing there now. Like there's a lot of stuff happening there now, which is really
that's
cool.
Awesome. I mean, there's Definite Maybe.
Yeah,
that's a band that came from St. Cloud that we've played with.
But there's a new not a new program, but it's been out. They've been doing stuff called Project 37.
Yeah.
And they've been like hosting a lot of different stuff at different places. They finally have they're currently working on getting their own like event space.
Oh wow.
So they're working on getting donations and stuff to afford that. But yeah, I think we got really unlucky with the situation we were in with the pandemic.
Yep.
Also just being really young for us to have any credibility.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the types of music we were playing too, like didn't really fit the vibe in St. Cloud. And our musicianship wasn't there enough to be able to like compensate for that with like doing like more covers, because we were kind of at a point where like, oh, we don't want to play covers. We want to play all of our own music. We want to listen to our own music.
Yeah, because we didn't know like how to play live. We didn't know how to.
Right, we didn't grow up in an area where that existed.
Yeah. Also, the pandemic, we couldn't even if we did.
Yeah, like the first real gig we had was an outdoor gig at a local restaurant down here.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Mexico City Cafe.
God, that food's so good.
Julio's the goat. I see him all the time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to learn drums.
Really?
Yeah, he's like,
oh
I'm
my God,
I'm gonna buy a kit. I'm gonna learn drums. I'm like, do that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Next time I'm in the neighborhood, we gotta go.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, just like we've experienced so much this year, like being able to play Spring Jam, all the new venues we played at, all the connections we're currently making and still will make.
I feel like we've got like a taste of what our life could be like if this really takes off.
Yeah, and like the percentage of that happening is still very slim. Like I don't feel like we have
always.
But I feel like we have a knack for it. We have a ambition and passion for it that has been kind of lacking the last few years for other circumstances. But now it's getting to a point where like we're still a band. Like a lot of bands don't make it this far.
It's been almost 5 years.
Yeah, we'll have a special anniversary episode in January when that does hit.
Woo!
But yeah, most bands don't make it this long.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been playing together since we were 17.
Especially bands out of high school too.
Yeah,
16
actually. I was 16.
Because a lot of bands out of the bands out of U aren't like together anymore.
Right, once they graduate, they break up.
Rest in peace, my buddy Eric. Rest in peace. Is Pull String still around? Or are they?
Pull String's still around. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Free Fall. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Free Fall. Rest in fucking. Oh shit! What was the one? What's the one that fucking Johnny was in?
Let's Be Kids.
Yeah, Let's Be Kids.
Yeah.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the U of M scene is that like you will hear fantastic music and you'll be like, hell yeah, I hope they go far, and then a year later they break up, never to be seen again. And also they're in college, so it's not like they have time to drop something. So
they're just like they'll have like maybe like 3 singles, and then they'll be like, oh, sorry, we got other stuff we need to do in life, which
is so real. Like if you're going to college, like I don't think unless you're going for music, like which not a lot of people at the U.
Most of the bands don't. Yeah.
Like if you're going to college, you're already like setting up your future. Like you're not. The band isn't the main thing here,
right?
Which.
But we with our band, we've gone through multiple different facets of life so far.
Yeah.
Like it'll be post grad soon, and we'll most likely still be a thing. Like I don't see
like we've been going this long.
Yeah,
like,
I don't see any of us moving out of Minnesota anytime soon.
Unless,
so
not anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
No. But yeah, I don't have an ambition.
If I'm leaving Minnesota, I'm fleeing the country.
Like, see you later. Moving to Japan.
Yeah, like they let you in.
Yeah, I've been there before.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, just Japan's immigration policy is.
Yeah. I'll be a Disney cast member.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll work as a bellhop at the Tower of Terror.
All right. Well, better start practicing in Japanese then.
I can be like or not a translator, but
English teacher.
yeah, no, not an English teacher, but I think Disney's very English there.
Oh.
Yeah, like all their signs are like it's very like I felt like
It's very tourist friendly.
Yeah. A lot of Japan was very tourist friendly too. Like a lot of the menus and a lot of the
I
signs.
I mean, when you went to Japan, you were in Tokyo mostly, right?
Tokyo, went to Kyoto, went to Mount Fuji area. Like
Oh yeah. I mean, those are like a tourist trap.
right. But yeah, I'm not moving to Japan.
I bet you couldn't. I bet you'd have some trouble with the signs if you went to like Hokkaido or Kobe or something.
Yeah, I know like 3 words in Japanese, but definitely have to study up on that if I ever considered moving anywhere really.
I would like to go to Japan because I make Japanese food for a living.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be.
And I'd say it's pretty accurate. It's pretty on par with what stuff I had over there. So.
Ooh.
Like the curry, oh my god, it brought me back when I had curry like a month ago. I was like, oh, I'm sitting, and like the curry I had over there wasn't like top of the art like stuff. It was just like random like curry shop, and I'm like, this shit was like the best stuff I had there.
Yeah, I mean like the restaurant industry in Japan is amazing.
Yeah,
like, and also you can get so much food for like $5 whole.
Bro, I wish I liked sushi. I'm so
was it
upset.
Was it really cheap in Japan?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's just.
Yeah, you go to like a conveyor belt like sushi shop.
I mean, yeah, they show like sushi in like fucking train stations.
Right. Yeah, you can just get like a package of stuff. But I waited to try sushi until I got there. I didn't like it there, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna like it anymore.
Yeah, when's the Honey Tree Japan vlog coming out?
Bro, that'd be so fun.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a few years to sort out my my student loans, and we'll be good to go.
All right, I gotta pee really bad.
Word. Go piss. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. You say there ain't nothing that you know the truth. You've been a really good boy today, Mio. Little piss break.
It was a fantastic piss break. Good
to hear.
I was a bit locked. I was too locked in.
Did you finish that drink?
Huh?
You finished that drink?
Oh yeah, crushed
it.
it.
Yeah, makes sense. It's that me espresso. But yeah, you've been using someone else's bass for the last few months.
Yeah, I've been using Dolan's bass because I thought it would be cool if I put like some really really thick strings on my bass, and for the record, it sounded wicked.
Yeah.
It sounded wicked, especially because I played like a 1996 Fender Jazz. I think it was made in Mexico, but I don't care about where it's made, but some Fender heads do.
Really? Why is that a thing?
Just because they're made differently.
Oh, okay.
Different country. Because Fender has 3 major places they manufacture. I think it's America, Mexico, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. I'm not an expert at this at all. If I was an expert,
yeah, I went to a music shop that had like all Fender stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, so my bass sounded great, especially like through my my shitty $200 amp I've been rocking for years on end.
That sounded good at the show.
It did
when it's lined in.
Because it was also lined in.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
again, we will keep singing Pillarform's praises.
Yes.
Their sound people are so good,
and their system sounds amazing too. Like
yeah.
I can feel it on stage. Usually you don't feel it on stage. You usually just feel it in the audience, but I could feel everything in there, and I could hear myself even though I didn't have a monitor next to me. Like it was still.
My ears only hurt when I step off stage.
Just play louder than the ringing, and it'll be fine.
But
Oh, I forgot to bring these. They were sitting right on the TV stand, and I was like, shit. They already left the house. I forgot them. Anyway, continue. I keep interrupting you.
So I put the big fat like metal strings on there.
Yeah.
I mean they're metal strings, but they're used for metal music.
Like actual like. Yeah, never mind. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just
You know metal music?
Like Metallica.
I mean, I guess yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounded great. I played it for like one gig, and it was good. Is he like okay?
No, he's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, word.
Just like. Oh.
And then it was our gig at Acadia. We did sound check, went normally, and then the thing that at the top of the neck, right below the head, that holds the strings together, the part for the G string snapped.
Ouch.
So yeah, I've been practicing with this 3-string bass for when was Acadia?
That was end of July.
It was end of July. Oh, that makes sense because I was like,
or
well,
June. No, end of June.
That makes sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, well, 2 poor to fix it. But now that I actually got money, I should
That was July. I lied. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Either way, broke as hell regardless. But I got to get it fixed. I really got to get it fixed because I'm sure Dolan's sick of me yoinking his bass every time.
Okay, I guess I'll bring everything to the gig now. Yeah, I'll take it to a shop. Let's go right now. Just kidding. We gotta finish the episode and get food afterwards.
Woo.
Food, if you still want to. But yeah, it won't be our last podcast of the year. I think we have a few more, but it's going well. It's by the time this episode's out, it'll be my most consistent podcast I've produced.
Yeah, no, we've been kind of on it with like the consistency, which I think is great.
Like if it was weekly, I think we would have stopped or like at least like adjusted it a little bit. But I think this has both worked well for our schedules, pending the last episode. But I mean, I think I think it outdid itself. So yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with the engagement with it too. Like there's been a lot of comments and likes, which is I like to see. Not just.
And if I'm dragging down the views, they'll just beat me to death with hammers.
I'm beating them down with hammers. But yeah, I'm glad we made it this far. And like we mentioned earlier in the episode, I hope we can use this as a vessel to kind of broaden the knowledge and like perspectives of the area.
Also, it's nice talking to you as well.
Yeah, it's a nice dedicated time to be like, we need to hang out. But I mean, we're also kind of doing it for work too. But yeah, we just live so far apart now. Like it's like a lot of our hobbies don't align as much.
Right, you don't play Magic, you don't do Warhammer.
Right, and I'm not online a lot, so. Ethan plays Warhammer for the first time. We should just do an episode where
I'll teach you Magic for the first time.
Okay.
Warhammer, I don't think.
No, I don't think I'll get into it, but I think I can eventually learn because everyone else plays Magic, so it's not just like you and a few other people that play Warhammer.
There's gonna be a Spider-Man set.
Like an actual Spider-Man set. Is there a Batman set?
No, they're just doing Marvel right now.
Okay. I might consider if there's
a Batman set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man's still cool though.
This is my Penguin Commander deck.
We got Oz Cobblepot on the Oz. No wait, isn't it? Oh, they changed the name in the show. It's Oswald Cobb instead of Cobblepot.
Wow.
Yeah, but you get over it by the first episode. Good show.
Who the fuck is who's Cobblepots?
What?
Who's that guy?
Penguin.
Oh, I thought his name was Carmine Falcone.
No, Carmine Falcone's like a whole different guy.
Oh.
Yeah. Falcone's like a mob boss. Penguin does eventually become a mob boss, but he's more of like the the villain side of the mob boss.
Oh,
Like
gotcha.
Falcone's been there, or Falcon's been there for.
He's just DC Tony Soprano.
Yeah, a little bit. The show kind of feels like that, but it's really good though. Like this is my shout out for the week. Watch the Penguin Show. It's 8 episodes. It's out. It's all out now. You can binge it. If you like the first Batman movie, which is the one with Robert Pattinson, you'll love this one just as much, if not more, if you're into that. Yeah, I can't recommend it. It's probably my favorite show of the last few years. Not just because it's not because it's like a comic book show, but like,
is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
My fault, Slime. You weren't
I'm
exaggerating.
being serious. It's really good. Not just as a comic book or a Batman fan. Like, I genuinely think it's like perfectly crafted, and especially with a binge, it's just gonna like, you'll eat that shit up.
Word.
With a spoon. So that's my shout out for the week for my film television homies out there. Also Gladiator 2 when it comes out. I saw it early. I saw it last week.
Sick.
I haven't seen the first one. But I went.
Well, we gotta watch the first one before the next one comes out. Then.
I already watched it. I already watched the second one.
Dude, you can't do that.
Okay. To be fair,
did you at least read the synopsis on Wikipedia?
yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, and the beginning of the movie does have like an opening like title. This isn't really a spoiler.
They give you a recap.
Basically, yeah, it's like an illustrated version of the first movie. But I went with Andrew, and he said it was like on par with the first one. So,
okay. That's good.
The reviews are not like as high as they should be, in my opinion. I think it was a really good movie. Like I gave it like a A- or whatever I gave on my scale. But that's the movie shout out for the week once that eventually comes out, which doesn't come out until next, or I guess when this episode comes out, it'll come out this week. So I saw it really early.
But I think that's do you think that's all we got today?
I think so. Is a lot of honey tree talk. Like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna have probably all 4 of us on for the 5th year anniversary. We'll make that one.
So if you like Honey Tree Talk, you're gonna like that in January. We might have a show in January.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on our Instagram for that. If you want to know anything about gigs.
Yeah, I think our spring's gonna be pretty fun.
Spring's gonna be hopping, especially if we got also stay tuned for Battle of the Bands if we end up doing that.
Yes. 4 Fears the Charm.
Even if you don't, I would also recommend going to like all the other Battle of the Band shows because you might discover like a band that you really enjoy. That's what Ethan and I did with my buddy Eric. God rest their soul.
And Call Me Fritz.
Yeah.
We discovered Call Me Fritz because we booked them for a show.
Yeah.
Before they even got picked to be a wild card and even won the Battle of the Bands thing. So we're like, these guys are cool. We like them. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming up. It should be hopefully our best year next year.
Let's hope so.
We're banking on it.
But yeah.
We have the
later everyone.
Stuff for it.
Can expect a lot more guests on the show.
Yes, including Mayo. Mayo will be in every episode.
Mayo will be in every. If Mayo keeps acting like this, he'll be in every episode.
I know, right? This is like the most like calm I've seen.
He's so
in a long
nice.
Time. He's been on my lap for 95% of the episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Even my cat doesn't cuddle with me this long.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.